Have you ever noticed that every beer can is super cool now? Like when you go down the grocery store aisle and every beer can is beautifully illustrated and calling out for your attention? There's this great article from the AIGA called "Why is Every Beer Can So Cool Now?" I'll link it below, it's a great read, but basically it equates the rise in the craft brewery scene with these more artistic cans. So I thought, why not do some beer can packaging? We're going to be doing a series of 3 for a fake brewery, which I called Anytime Brewing. The first of this series is called Lunch Break, which is a summer shandy that you could drink on your lunch break. So we're going for a kind of restaurant scene with some buildings in the background. Maybe these people work in a big city, but the point is you want people to imagine that they're in the scene. Let's jump into Illustrator and get started. Okay, so here I have our mood board and some assets that I want to pull from. So for the mood board, just to go over it really quick, I pulled a lot of images that have some really fun illustrations, bright colors, and some fun type treatments. So here I've just created a little board full of assets that I want to use and things to keep in mind, so that way they're all remaining consistent. So I have some colors here, they might change throughout the process depending on what I need. So for the actual brewery name itself, I was playing around with a couple of different type layouts, so I think I'm going to go with this one. This typeface is Popstone Heavy, which I think I purchased at some point, but Rock Grotesque is an Adobe font that has replaced titling Gothic in my heart, RIP. So things to keep in mind. For alcohol packaging, it's usually a little bit more strict and you have to have certain things on the packaging itself, such as the alcohol content, and you always have to have a government warning. So let's jump in to our file. Okay, so for this guy, just to point out what I've got going on here, I have some margins set in place, so it's 0.5 on the top and 0.25 on the rest of the sides. And then I'm kind of approaching it by section. So when you create a can that's a 3D object, you want it to kind of tell a story as you're turning the can. So that's what I've got going on here. The front square is like what you see on the shelf, and then the 2 sides are where our secondary information is going to go. So it can bleed over just a little bit, but you kind of have to approach it as 3 different panels. And then, because I like to make things easy for myself, I like to use the align tools a lot, so I kept my live shapes that I used to create these guides just above right there. But I wanted some buildings on the side here to kind of make it feel a little bit more realistic. And I'm just blocking them in right now. I might go back and add some windows and some other fun details. And this has a good chance of changing later, but we just want to get the main shapes in to get the composition. So next I'm going to maybe see what it looks like in the same font. So what I'm doing here is I'm just making a blend between two shapes. So if we go into blend options and then specified steps, let's maybe make it like 25. You just want to make it smooth between those two shapes. And then you can just go into Pathfinder and weld those all together. And then you have this kind of fun type treatment. Okay, so what I'm using here is the blob brush tool, and I really want like an egg-shaped chair, and so this just allows me to make an organic shape that I might not be able to make with the pen tool. And then you can just go in and adjust everything because it's all a vector. I'm gonna go into path and then simplify, and then just get rid of any points that we don't need. So then you can adjust all this stuff super easily. Upon further reflection, I'm going to make the third panel over on the right side just one color, so we're going to move those buildings to the other side. Okay, so this full panel is just going to be this deep royal blue. So that will help improve readability, and since this is more of just information, we just want to kind of help improve that, especially down for the barcode. I'm actually going to end up making it the same width as the government warning. It's like not the most fun design element, but it would get really annoying for whoever you're working with if they couldn't scan their own product. So that's for them. Okay, and so for this other side, I am going to be making like a little please recycle symbol. Okay, so we're going to be putting please recycle just in a circle for that other side of the symbol. So let me make that. You know, sometimes Type Tool wants to work with you, and sometimes it just wants to be fussy, you know? We're just going to use a circle to fill in that area. And then it also kind of looks like a happy face. Actually, I wanted to follow that same kind of point or angle that the P and the E are at. So to do that, you expand it, and then let me expand the text as well, and then you can get that perfect. And then we can put that right in there. And I'm gonna expand all of this noise. Cool. Since I've made it more readable, I'm just gonna use the same font from, or same type treatment that I used from before. Okay, so next thing is going to be those buildings, and we're gonna do like a ficus or a fern or something on that side just to fill in the bottom portion, and then basically finishing touches. Okay, that looks good, but we're missing our flower. So we're just gonna shimmy that guy down. Okay, so now the buildings. I actually want them to be the red color just to introduce that a little bit more. But then we're kind of losing definition to these buildings, so we're going to add windows. All right, so now it kind of looks like there's a city outside the window, and also you can create some dimension without having to add another color. Okay, so the last thing that we're gonna do is create that ficus. I'm actually pretty happy with how this one turned out. I think that's going to be it for it. So I'm gonna create some mock-ups and maybe make a few small adjustments, but that was it for this one. Alright, that's going to do it for part 1. If you want to know when part 2 and part 3 are coming out, please subscribe. And if you want to connect, follow me on Instagram. My handle is alisonkoehler.design. Thanks, see you in the next one.